guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have a Louis Vuitton unboxing. Well, it's not a true unboxing. I did take a peek at this item yesterday because it is a pre-loved piece. I received it yesterday. I just want to make sure it was legit and authentic before I showed you, which it is. And I'm so happy because I went the pre-loved route with this piece. I was able to save over $100. So I'm going to talk to you about that. This is now my I think fourth piece that I bought on the pre-loved market. So without further ado, let me just show you. Now, I kind of faked you out because I showed this dust bag in the picture because I didn't want to show you the actual piece, but this one came with my Louis Vuitton, my pochette accessoire that I bought, and this is an old school dust bag for it. So it's crazy how I have this one, but this is a piece that I ended up getting, and it is a small leather good. It is my most used small leather good, but I ended up getting a new 6 key ring holder, and I got mine in the monogram. So this is my OG one right here, as you can see, kind of up close. It is a beat. I bought this in 2019 in January. So it has definitely seen some wear. I have used this one, I would say, every day, or at least every time I've left the apartment, because I typically, well, now I don't as often, I would typically have my apartment key as well as my apartment fob in there. Right now I just have my car key as well as my mailbox key. I'm really lucky because my new building, our fob system is just it can be on our phone. So I do have an actual tangible apartment fob, but my mom has that right now. So this is all I have in there right now, and then I always have a picture of my dad in the back area there. But this was the original one that I bought, and like you can see, it has been well used and it is very well loved. It's beginning to fray on the sides there, and I think it's because in the past I had my car fob dangling down, and with wear, you know, as you can see there, it just begins to curl up the canvas and the stitching is beginning to come undone. I mean, I wouldn't say it's in terrible condition. The glazing actually isn't that bad, but I just realized, you know, it's getting a little bit beat, and I was looking at getting a new one. So I ended up going to eBay because when I looked online, the price point of this now, I paid, I think it was I was looking at my old receipt, $295 for this before tax. Now, this is $425, and then with tax, here in BC, Canada, it was $475 for this little one here. So I went on to eBay. This piece was listed as pre-owned good for the condition, and the seller has a sort of a tier for their rating system, and so it goes new, like new, very good, and then good. So this was the fourth one down, and then after that was acceptable and then refurbished. So when I was looking at the pictures, I thought, okay, that looks like it's in really good condition. Honestly, it didn't really look used at all. And when I looked at the date code that they had listed, it was from 2004, which means that this is now about 20 years old. And so for being 20 years old, I was like, oh my gosh, the condition is amazing. If you look at the side there, you can see that there's no issues at all with the glazing. I think this lighting and position is better, but as you can see, there is like a tiny bit of creasing there, which, I mean, like I said, I didn't even notice it when I first unboxed it. I feel like in certain lights you can see it, but if you look at the button here, there's basically no scratches. It looks really great. And then from the side, you can see that the glazing is essentially perfect. The monogram looks wonderful too. There's basically sort of nothing that's rubbed off. It matches up really nicely too, as you can see there. And then the inside as well, you can see fairly perfect conditions, no markings. There might be a tiny bit of wear on the key part here, if I can find a way to show you. You can see there's like a tiny bit of wear up top there where you put the keys in, and then here there's, I mean, from just, you know, closing it and opening it, there's like a tiny bit of creasing. For reference, you can see on mine, it's rubbed off so much on both parts. So up here from just sort of taking the keys out, as well as these little hooks and clasps, whereas this one, like I said, is in near perfect condition. As well on the side, you can see my sort of Louis Vuitton made in France has really rubbed off too compared to this one. So honestly, the difference between the two is quite extreme. And like I said, I didn't really think mine was in such bad condition. Let me close it up. But then when you compare the two sort of side by side, you can see like the peeling there on the glazing as well. My buttons kind of completely rubbed off because like I said, I use it essentially every single day. And then the back, you can see here again, you see a lot of wear kind of around the piping there and the glazing. It's beginning to sort of rub off, whereas this one is just beautiful. The seller that I bought from this time was E-Lady, and I know that they also have their own website as well as selling on eBay, but some conditions when I am buying pre-loved, like I said, this is my fourth piece. All my sellers that I've purchased from have been from Japan, just because I know that there are strict rules and regulations and it is illegal to sell counterfeit pieces in Japan, but I know that sometimes obviously there's going to be slip-ups, but for me, I have that peace of mind purchasing from Japanese sellers. So I bought from E-Lady. I don't know, there's a separate account. It's spelled U-K-E-R-O-O, Ukru. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they had 99.3% positive feedback, and they have sold, well, this one's saying 16,958 pieces. So close to 17,000 pieces have been sold, and they have, like I said, a near perfect rating. So that is why I chose to buy from them, other than the fact that they had really great prices. So the actual price that I paid for this is, I did the buy it now option. I know that a lot of people like to do the auctions where you make bids and then you could possibly win, but I always do the buy it now option. So this was $211 US. So for me, it translated to $293.68. And like I said, a brand new one with tax here in BC, Canada is $475. So that right there is already $175 off, more than $175 off. Now, with that being said, I did have to pay duties, and for some reason it was a lot higher than all my other purchases. So I've purchased Louis Vuitton No Way, I have my Montsouris, as well as my Pochette Accessoire. And I feel like, I mean, my memory isn't the greatest, but I feel like the customs and duties wasn't so much. So with this piece being $293 Canadian, I ended up paying $80 in total, and that includes the GST and PST, which came out to be, I calculated and it was correct, it was around $30-something, $36. And then I had to pay an additional duties. And then I think it was DHL had their own fees that I had to pay. Unfortunately, I probably could have fought those additional fees from DHL, but I just chose, like, you know, whatever. I just bought it. So, I mean, I still saved a large amount of money on this piece. Then when I got it, and I was looking at it yesterday, this part here where it says Louis Vuitton looked a little bit different than this one on my previous one. Everything else looks the same, and I went online and I was trying to search, and granted, I mean, this one's from 2004 and this one's from 2019, so I know there may be some changes. So I also got it authenticated. So I went through Legit Grails, is that what it's called? Legit Rails. I will link it down below. It cost $15, and they sent it back within 12 hours. And they said, yeah, like, we've looked at all the pictures you've sent and it is authentic, which I thought it was, but like, for peace of mind, I chose to do that. Even though on here it says that all the items are 100% authentic, that they are a member of the International Anti-Counterfeiting Coalition, and that everything is also looked over by someone and deemed authentic, but it's my peace of mind that I needed. So in total, I think I saved $100, or just over, slightly over $100, which is still really amazing for this piece, because like I said, paying $475 for this now, I don't think I could do it. I did look at a couple of sites locally that were selling them, but they were just more, and they weren't in such good condition as this one. So I'm happy that I purchased this. Like I said, this is by far my most used piece. There are so many good pre-loved pieces on eBay. So if you don't want to pay the full price for a new Louis Vuitton piece, definitely go the pre-loved route. The only thing that this one didn't come with was a dust bag and I guess the authenticity papers and the box. In the past, a couple of mine have came with the dust bag. Like I said, my Pochette accessoire came with it. But honestly, I have so many of the Louis Vuitton boxes, I don't need it. And I'd rather save $100 and not get a box. So there we go. That is my new purchase and unboxing from Louis Vuitton. Let me know what you think about this piece. Do you love it? Do you hate it? I personally would always recommend this piece. I just think it is such a good little SLG, especially if you carry a lot of luxury bags and you don't want the inner part, which if it's leather, you don't want it to get scratched. This is such an amazing piece. I have never lost my keys either using this key holder because it's so perfect. It's so hard to misplace this because it's like a wallet almost. And you can use it as a wallet. I know some people like to put their ID behind here and then some credit cards. But my only issue then is if you are just taking this out and using it as a mini wallet and you leave it somewhere, essentially that person has your house keys, possibly your car keys, as well as your address and all your personal information. So I never carry my identification behind here. I'll always carry it separate if I have to, just because I know for some reason, if I lose this, then I'm kind of out of luck because they have all the information they could possibly need and all the keys they could possibly need. Wait, I am rambling. I just want to show you this piece and I want to talk you through my purchasing process, buying pre-loved through eBay and just kind of what I'm looking for. If you have any questions with regards to that, please leave them down below. And until next time, I hope you have a good day.